There we go, live streaming. You need to record now. There we go. There we go, live stream.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Technical issues. And it's Jacqueline with Intuition Power. Good morning, afternoon, evening with my co-host, Stuart Elliott, calling in from Guilin, China. And hi.
It's good to be here and good to see you again.
I don't know what's happening with this. It's asking me to end the meeting for all and to leave. I don't want to do that. All right. So today, what is the topic?
It was something about starting now, wasn't it? It's now because
Yes.
there's a special day coming up.
There's a series of special days, and for some of you, I follow astrology, even though I'm not in astrology. So our topic was Transform Now, Hurry, Special Alignment. Not just one special alignment, there's several. There's a new moon with an eclipse and something going into Neptune for the next 14 years and all kinds of it. The astrologers are doing specials on top of specials because there's so much energy, transformative, powerful alignments happening starting today and increasing over the next 2 days and then continuing. It's amazing the amount of it's almost like typhoon season. It's like
typhoons of the planets. But you said also that it's a really good time to revisit the goals and clear set get at this moment, didn't you? Because of all this energy.
Well, I said that before we started broadcasting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but
yes, I teach a class called Clear Set Get, and a lot of people set goals, but they don't stop, sharpen their saw, or sometimes they do. But what I do is I take people through a quick, powerful, effective review and resolution internally of challenges and stresses that we've all had, especially the last 12 months. I don't care where you live in the next and around the world. It's been pretty intense. And so to like you do that in your conversational sessions with people. I just had one with Stuart, and I have to say I had some concerns of issues that I felt were blocking me on some bigger projects. And just that conversation that I had with him, I ended up feeling so light and excited and enthusiastic about going forward with a lot more clarity than I guessed I would have had. So I want to thank you for that session. And
it's my pleasure. That's what I'm here for, to just help you explore.
Yeah, so I had to check it out.
That is the challenge, isn't it, that we have? We get trapped in our own mind, and then if we can share with somebody else, they can see different pieces, and then that starts to open up the big picture that we've lost to ourselves. So I think it's something important for everybody to find someone that can just have that open conversation without any prejudice.
Right. How psychic do you feel that you are?
I don't consciously feel psychic. I know I am, because I can, like when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, should we say, I was watching show jumping with my sister on TV, and she got so angry with me because I would tell her every time the horse was going to kick one of the jumps over, every single time, and I loved it. It was wonderful to wind her up in that way, but it's not something I'm conscious about. And that there are things that I just know are going to happen. I can see things. I can see, events unfolding in ways that other people don't recognize. But it's not something I've actually focused on consciously.
Yeah, a lot of people call that intuitive, or and for those that don't know me, one of my specialties is training people to develop and refine their sensitivity. And most people have it on some level, whether it be seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, hearing, or just knowing, just sensing. It's not necessarily about phenomena. And a lot of people have oversensitivity in certain areas, especially for some reason here where I live now in Reno, Nevada, USA. I've run into a lot of people that are hypersensitive, super sensitive, oversensitive, where literally they can't walk through. We've got a lot of casinos in town, and they have phenomenal entertainment. We get A-list entertainers coming through this little town. It's great. And we have fabulous restaurants. And some people love the gambling and all of that. And so they can't walk through the casino to either go to a show or go to a beautiful restaurant, because it's like it would be equivalent to feel like you're getting scraped walking through. They feel negativity or static electricity, and it's just like they end up being either nauseous or headaches or just feeling horrible. And I don't think, and I was trained as an intuitive, as a psychic, and but I started in my early 20s, and so my whole career ended up training people as one of my basic programs to activate, explore, and refine those senses so that they're working for you, but they're in the background. It's like I call myself the cosmic concierge, the concierge of the cosmic app store. And I download all these apps, and then I walk you through the basics of how they work, and then we put them in the background, and unless you need them, they're on autopilot. But what starts to happen is finding parking spots, being in the right place, averting traffic, not necessarily using your smartphone. It's like, oh my goodness, this stuff happens all the time, every day. So many synchronicities, the right place, right time, and you just put your hand on something that you've been thinking of filing for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden your hand is on it. Somebody calls, yeah, I got the information right here. It's right, literally right in your hand. And why did you pick it up? Why did you not file it for all those weeks? And why did you pick it up right at that time, right before the person calls and asks for it? So it's pretty wild that the synchronicities and the intuition and psychic abilities can really be integrated into your life so that it just becomes literally second nature. And then after you take a course, if you need more information, like I have a lot of clients that call me right before. I had one client that would call me. I don't know why she had to go to court so many times. She was a teacher, a grammar school teacher. And for some reason, in 1 year, she had to go to court like 6 different times with all this paperwork. And she would call me up 20 minutes before she had to leave. Jacqueline, I can't find my papers. Where are they? She would be panicking. That's the first problem. You have to know how to get out of panic.
Yeah.
And breathing and meditation can help. And it doesn't have to be decades. It can just be 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day for a couple of weeks. And if you're taught how to do it well, and I didn't say properly because there, how many millions of people on the planet? There's billions of people. There's that many ways of meditating. But to activate that sensitivity, you don't need it running on all the time. So you put it in the background when you don't need it. But life starts to transition. But let's talk more about what's happening over the next 5 days.
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier as well, before we went on air, that there's a special event that a Mayan timekeeper is coming to town for, or coming in
Right,
the
right.
region for.
Okay, so if anybody's in Reno, Nevada, or in the vicinity, there is a Mayan timekeeper. He's amazing. His name is Jose Aju Munoz, and he started he got a 160 acres of mountain land about 5-hour drive from where I live. And it's an hour drive off the pavement, up the mountain to get to the place. And it's called Hummingbird Sky Island. And he's building a conscious community up there. And it's also a retreat center. And so he is going to be here in Reno at the Cosmic Light Academy Sunday, the 30th, 3/3, which is also something happening in China where you are. And he's going to be leading a cacao ceremony. And his family is.
What is this ceremony, cacao? I mean, I have no
Yeah, well,
idea.
cacao is a nut, like a coffee bean. It's a chocolate. It's where chocolate comes from, cacao.
Okay.
And it's not really like you would think drinking a chocolate drink, but it's similar, not quite as sweet because he doesn't really put sugar in it. But it's they roast the beans for like 7 days with prayers and in all this stuff in the sun. So it's got the sun energy in it. And then they do some other stuff when they're grinding it. And then when they're cooking it to make it into the like the chocolate drink, they're stirring it and saying prayers, reciting these ancient activation, healing, alignment prayers. I mean, it's amazing. And because I've helped him 3 times with the different ceremony, 3 different ceremonies. And the last time was here, and he initiated me into letting me do it. But the fact that he's going to be here and doing it, I'm going to make him do it so I can watch again and listen. And so when he got to eat, we're stirring it. And he goes, and I said, now what? And he goes, now you do the prayers. I said, okay. He said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's going on for about 15 minutes. I go, yeah, right. But when you think about water, and there was this Dr. Emoto, and he was one of the first ones pretty famous for filming and documenting how mind and words impact the structure of the water under microscopes, and how even just saying love, 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 if that was the prayer, just saying love, 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 it's the pattern almost as a beautiful snowflake pattern, very symmetrical and beautiful. And then I've seen this done under something called an oscilloscope, which is like sand vibrating on the top of a drum surface. And then they do peace, 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 and it's a different pattern but similar. And then they did like the word hate, 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 and it was distorted, not symmetrical. And I was able to see this experiment when I was again in early training, to share the power of words, not only spoken words but thinking words. And
we have a similar thing over here with tea, because there's, China is famous for tea, and there's many different types. But one of the things that they say is the tea will change its flavor depending on the friends who are drinking it.
that's interesting.
And it's true. I mean, you get the same tea and you have it with different people, and the flavor is different.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting thing. And there's so many different stories about tea, and the good teas are like, especially the oolong tea type teas, are like the wines. They have different flavors which they impart every time you infuse, put a bit more water on it. They've got different thickness of the liquor, because that's the liquid they call it, where it actually sits on your mouth afterwards when you drink it. Is it on your teeth, the top of your mouth, the tongue, under your tongue, the cheeks? There's all sorts of different sensations. And you've got different layers of flavor, peanuts and honey, and all these types of things. It's a phenomenal science, and it's just so beautiful to be involved in it. But the key is the energy of the people affects the flavor of the tea, and it's a living thing almost.
I did the same thing with Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine was a Scotch aficionado, and
Mm-hmm.
once a week he would have a group of people over, and he had like 50 different kinds of scotches, like mint scotch, chocolate scotch, all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of stuff. And he had these brandy sniffers, and he
Mm-hmm.
would pour it in there, and he would say, sniff over here, now sniff over here, now sniff over here. And and this would be fruity, and this would smell like wood, and this
Mm-hmm.
would bring in a taste out of in your mouth. And it was like, wow. And it's such a interesting experience, because
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about brandy sniffers, but I never was introduced to the details of experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about intuition, until somebody shows you or teaches you or has you experience those different things, you would never know it.
No, I mean, a lot of people put it down and say it's coincidence. That's a very, very poor word, because intuition is something very special. It's very beautiful, and it's something that we do have, isn't it? We just sometimes we just know things. We don't know
Right.
why, but we just do, and then we dismiss it. Nah, and that's a silly thing to do, isn't it?
Right. So when you drink this cacao that is done with this lineage going back thousands of years, he's
Mhm.
pure blood. In fact, I asked him how many brothers and sisters that he has, and I think he said like 17 or something like that. And I said,
Mhm.
all from the same mother? And he goes, yes. And I said, what? And he said there was a period of time where the lineage was uh, losing the lineage, and
Mhm.
the shamans asked the women to sacrifice themselves and to, be incubators for
Mhm.
the pure bloods, to continue the lineage. And so there was a group of women that did that. So he's got a lot of brothers and sisters, and so he and the time, so he has this, he has got a book out, he's got a lot of things on the Mayan history, Mayan
Mhm.
calendar. He is a timekeeper officially, and being able to talk with him or even just be in ceremony with him is quite a amazing experience. So he's
Mhm.
going to be here Sunday, limited seating. If anybody's watching and wants to participate, um, donation and to participate. So it's and
How would they find out about that? Would they best to reach out to you?
oh, yeah, best to reach out to me, send a request for cacao ceremony to coach at intuitionpower.com. And
Mhm.
that's COACH at intuitionpower.com.
Wonderful.
And do it quickly, because when it we'll have a list in of reservation with a short waiting list. And that'll be the Sunday 4:30 to about 6 p.m.
Mhm.
So it'll be fun. And the fact that the new moon, the first new moon in the beginning of the zodiac, the astrological year, is Saturday, and this is Sunday. So we'll still be in that push of new beginnings, that energy that moves forward. And there's some major alignments going on. There's an eclipse happening that's extremely powerful. I've been listening to hours and hours of different astrologers that I follow. I'm not an astrologer, but I like to keep up with the major things. And they're all saying they haven't seen a year of alignments and powerful, unbelievable, this one and then that one. And some of them are fabulous and some of them are pretty devastating. So there's going to be a lot of building and a lot of taking down. In India, they talk about Shiva and Vishnu. Shiva is the builder of form and the preserver. Vishnu is the builder of form and the preserver of form. And Shiva is the destroyer of form. So Vishnu comes in and builds a new city. Yay, Shiva, yay, Vishnu. And then it preserves the form. So weeks, months, years, decades, and decades. And Vishnu is still preserving. And pretty soon, the community has outgrown the narrow streets and the cobblestones, but Vishnu is still preserving. And Shiva comes in and destroys everything and becomes the hero because now it can be rebuilt. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes the devastation, it's the yin and the yang. And to preserve something that's antiquated or beyond its use or limiting growth is not necessarily a good anymore. And so there's a lot of that happening right now this year and this
is
weekend.
Also true of our beliefs, isn't it? So this is why it's so pertinent. I couldn't think of the word to make this investment in yourself right now and get rid of those beliefs that are holding you back, and then allow room for the beauty to step in.
Right. And you said in China, there's a 3/3 celebration?
Yeah, San Yue San. So that's the third month, the third day. And it is a special folk festival and it coincides with everything you're talking about. And there's big celebrations in our local area, the local nationality for it. And so much so that the kids are not at school for 3 days. So it's very important in the traditional folklore, and it is recognized as that. So there are all these changes going on,
and what is this? What is the celebration? What are they celebrating?
Well, as much as anything, it's the beginning of spring. It's new life. It's everything that's involved with growth, and that's very, very important. And letting go of all the nonsense.
And speaking of growth, in Reno, the last 2 days, it's almost, I don't know if they're cherry trees, I don't know, but these trees have bloomed within 2 days, and they're just canopies of pink and white, and it's absolutely magnificent. And I grew up in Los Angeles, and we don't have 4 seasons. And here we have 4 seasons, and to see within 2 days everything going from bare branches to completely bloom, every year it blows my mind. It's absolutely
it's so nice as well to walk through in a few days when the blossoms starting to fall, because it's like walking through a snowstorm of blossoms. It's very beautiful. We've got similar flowering cherries over here, and they've all finished now, and you just walk there and it's just a carpet of petals, and you walk through. It's just like being in the snow.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Wow. And the important thing also is to look at the spiritual aspect of it. If that's happening in nature, that's happening in your body. Yeah. The first part of springtime is really great. Spring cleaning is a saying. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do a detox, if you want to start something, this new moon to start things, the next full moon, if you want to let go of stuff, that's a good time, and clear it out. And whether it be a body clearing where you do a cleanse and prepare yourself for the whole, it's time to plant seeds. So those people that planted seeds in terms of ideas and goals at the annual New Year, I invite you to redo them right now in the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially in the next 5 days. With this powerful new moon, set your intentions, write them out or rewrite them, and do some prayers on them, and just use your imagination. make an appointment with Stuart while you can. um, coachstuart.com. Is it www or?
You can put it there. You don't have to. I set it up so it's easy.
Okay, coachstuart.com. And there's a space to click to get to your calendar.
Yeah.
And there'll be a couple of options on the calendar for complimentary sessions. So
reach out
don't
to me and
lose
also
that
reach out to
opportunity.
Jacqueline. Yeah,
What?
and reach out to Jacqueline and find out more about that main cacao
Right.
event. That's going to be something special.
Yeah, send an email and I'm also on the on my Facebook page and LinkedIn page and YouTube page. I'll be this evening, I'll be putting together a flyer because I just spoke with Jose yesterday. So, and I'll get that out there. So if it'll be a small group, probably, definitely under 20. And it's a really wonderful event, and it's yummy cacao drinking. And when he takes you through a series of visualizations or not visualizations, imagination journeys, dealing with different things, and especially dealing with who's there in the room. And because he can read people like a book, he's really amazing. And understanding why you're there, what you're there to accomplish on the planet and at this time in life. And it's in their similar energy attracts. So if you're attracted to show up, there's a reason. And so then he has you do certain prayers and things like that. And then you drink this yummy cacao that's been ritually developed from soaking in the sunlight of consciousness from the sun and prayers all the way through, and then drinking that to help you to really align with manifesting. It's pretty special and powerful. It's awesome. So
I apologize if I'm dancing around a bit because I've just got somebody woken up and come to chew my fingers.
And if you're first to listen to our little broadcast, that's his little dog.
Yeah. Who said, come on, you're talking about clear, set, get. It's time for me to go and meet all these things.
Great. So anyway, 3/3 this weekend, 3/29, 3/30. You'll be celebrating with your family and community. I'll be having the
and also I'll be revisiting goals and thinking and replanning and everything else. So that's
this is a really good
do it in
time.
the back of your mind whilst you're just cooking food or whatever, and then you can fix it down on paper afterwards. But do it because I think it's a very useful time to do it.
So to transform now, this is the time, and this special alignment, take advantage of the wave that's here right now energetically and do the work. Hopefully you'll have fun doing it. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for your comments. And Stuart, thank you for joining me today. And have a good one till we meet again.
Yeah. See you next week.
Jacqueline's out.
Take care now.